When Ken McLarty was promoted to Regional Vice President, Michigan Bell was asked to prepare a videotape introducing him to the rest of the region. We would like to share that tape with you. Following that is an interview with our new General Manager, Bill Bugera.
Now that I have regional responsibilities in Great Lakes, I find that I'm both delighted, concerned, and really looking forward to a 1983 that'll be a little different from the Great Lakes region that at least I partook in for the past 4 years. Well, visiting work locations is important to me because, frankly, that's the only way I can stay close to the customer. There's absolutely no question there'd be a lot of distance between me and the work that's physically done. But my concern in 1983, and clearly, I think the way in which our service will be differentiated in the years ahead, is based on how well we understand the customer. And frankly, in my visits to work locations, I probe and I ask. I ask people that deal with customers day to day, face to face or on the telephone, how does the customer feel? And what are we doing as an organization to make that customer feel we are the vendor that they want to continue to do business with? It's been about a month, maybe 5 weeks since I've been here. We chatted a little bit about transition and the transition orders. And at that time, my focus was primarily Michigan. But as I think all of you have heard, over the past couple of weeks, I've kind of expanded my horizons a little bit, and Metro Airport has now become my home base because we're doing some of the things in the Great Lakes region that we chatted about here 4 or 5 weeks ago.
I'd say he is a dynamic leader. He really impressed me. I've been around this company for 27 years, and it takes quite a bit to impress me, I'll be honest with you. And I'll tell you, when he walked in, took command of the whole situation, the people here, they're a terrific bunch, but you don't give them a snow job either. And everybody left the meeting feeling the same way that I did, that, hey, this guy has got it. He's got command of the situation.
And by bringing our problems to him, we have been able to rectify them. And you have people out here, or customers, that want service now. They don't want it a week from now. They want to get the answer as soon as possible. And he has made himself that available to us where we could get the information that we needed to perform our duties.
When you first see him and he took over, he takes over a conversation, right off the bat that he's somebody that you can believe in, and somebody who, after listening to him, will follow through on what he tells you.
He could really relate to us in our job. A person in his position, I don't think very often has an opportunity to talk to craft people, but I really felt it was almost like he had been out in the field working with us, that he could talk about our equipment and relate to us on our day-to-day job.
When you ask him a question, he gives you a direct answer and an honest answer, and this is mostly what we expect.
I like to see an organization that's a leader. I don't want to be part of, and I believe the people in the Great Lakes region don't want to partake in any organization that's known as second class. I think everything we do ought to be in our customers' best interests, in our own best interests, and I'd clearly like to lead the region in the kind of business service positioning and progress we need to make this year.
I'd say his standards of purpose are extremely important. We get a sense of urgency, but at the same time, we don't get a sense of despair or hopelessness. We get a sense that we can get our arms around the kinds of things that we need to achieve, and that he's going to stand with us in making those accomplishments.
I guess to put it in a nutshell, just a manager's manager, if you will. Someone that you can relate to, someone that's fairly easy to work for and yet extremely demanding, demands excellence on the job, but gives you enough flexibility and latitude to do the job the way you feel it needs to be done and the way you know it can be done. I guess if you wanted to put it in 2 words, a good boss.
Basically, I see my role to do 3 things. I think I need to provide an identity to the Great Lakes region, hopefully building on the foundation that we've established over the past 18 months, but more particularly building an organization in 1983 that people want to be a part of as we plan for 1984. Second, I see my role as a support role, and that is I ought to be involved and I ought to understand all of the business service functions. I ought to understand them well enough to motivate, which is really my 3rd responsibility, our people and our coordinates in the BOC or in AT&T into action. Action that we want and action that we believe in Great Lakes.
He certainly made our job a lot easier. One thing that I appreciate, he brought decision-making down to a lower level where we can do our job better and makes us feel good about it because we make more decisions than we used to be able to make.
He's a great leader in that he plans and plans with vision and has the goal in front of him, and everyone knows what the goal is, and everyone works together in his segment to achieve those goals.
He makes everybody feel like they really represent the company. When Mr. McLarty was leading us, everything was brought down to our accountability, and by doing that, he gave us a new sense of pride in our job.
He lessened the amount of information that he needed, which helped us tremendously in what work we had to accomplish and helped us then to concentrate on some of the finer points of the business.
I met Mr. McLarty in 1972 or 73. He was my district manager when I was a service representative working in Woodward residence. He was extremely personable. I guess I remember him best for his visibility. He made a point of walking through the office daily, stopping and chatting to us, talking about our personal lives as well as business life in the office. I've seen him go through the office and come upon a problem. Manager was talking to a customer. I've actually seen him sit down at the desk, take over the call, and try to help resolve that problem then and there so it wouldn't go any further.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Okay. I've got a few messages for you.
I think that's the best thing that could happen for the region is to have a man like Ken McLarty go to the region, especially with his qualities and coming from a place like Michigan where he has led people at Michigan Bell during some very tough economic times.
Well, I think Ken going to the region and handling such a large area was a very good move on somebody's part because he is a very knowledgeable man. And he has shown that he is very accessible to the customer's needs, and this is what we have to do if we plan on staying in the communication business.
He's a people person, a doer.
Straight shooter.
Very forthright, very believable.
Demanding, but I think he'd be fair.
The business environment out there is highly competitive, and if we want to stay in that environment, then we better have people like him running the job.
If I could leave you with one thought, it would be that as a member of the Great Lakes region, you will be known for the contribution you make to our business, and our region will be known as a region that gets the contribution from each and every one of its people.
Bill Bugera explained the significance of McLarty's promotion.
It makes it comfortable for us, certainly, because Ken, of course, is from Michigan, and he's familiar with the operating environment and our needs and our concerns. But I think the real impact really would center more around the region. I think Ken's leadership ability will really be welcomed in the region, and that's where the greatest impact will occur. We're fortunate having had him here, and he certainly has left his mark. Now he'll have the opportunity to do the same for the rest of the region, the other states, if you will.
Bill also shared his viewpoint of business services' greatest challenge in 1983.
I think the greatest opportunity we have, or the greatest perhaps challenge in '83 is in terms of positioning. When I say positioning, for example, the BSC divestiture, breaking up the BSC into the different groups, the addicts, the BAC, the ABI portion, that sort of thing, positioning ourselves for the new environment.
For Marketing Report, I'm Ken Ford.